Hello, this is Joe with VaultSync. Figured I'd show you guys today a few different features we've been working on and a couple of our plugins. So if you didn't know, GDBS is our computational substrate that allows um, quite literally any operational mechanics, scientific, physics, etc., and research to be done. We are not in competition with HPC clusters. What we are attempting to do is bring to every user the ability to do research with regards to a variety of platforms and engineering terms, and whether it be calculating the distance for from the Earth to the Sun to molecular diameter to gravitational waves, gravimetrics, magnetohydrodynamics, BSSN calculations, all of these things we want to be able to give you the access. So with that being said, we've also created Worklog Gate and um, a few other additional add-ons, BSSN and LIGO, in order for a burgeoning or already scientists to validate and pre-configure all of their information and verify if it's going to have a trust in working on a cluster or wherever they're going to apply that theory. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at a few things. So as you can see right now, we're in the material science section. We can migrate between our standard, which is freely available to every user, and of course, using it freely means that you still have to register and you still come to the site and you take a look. And again, uh, everything that we have underneath the standard tier is available to you. And of course, our goal is to do as much as we can to reduce the complexity so that you can get right to doing what it is that you love to do, whether it being hot ion, hot ion characterizations, research, or associations. Um, Again, what we're attempting to do is provide that access directly to you. And as you can see, we can do things like viewing it in 3D, so we can see in 3D space exactly what kind of visualization we would get from this particular uh, characterization of a hot ion. Of course, this is with Fidif Skyrim. So, but that isn't what I wanted to talk to you today about. Specifically, I wanted to talk to you today about our plugins. So as you can see, we have ACA affordability, AWS CLI check cheat sheets, Boltzmann Wildfire. Every one of these is a simple, let's just run it and we can visualize exactly what we would predict. And across that prediction, as we move down, what is our uh, drift tracking associated with that, and whether it's the numerical value is valid or not. So again, we're going to go back to our plugins. We do legal break-even analysis, damped oscillation, Docker cheat sheets, W pendulums, um, Google Cloud cheat sheet, GeoNum drift under cancellation, GDBS sorting, which is an HVB address order, uh, glassy granular raft dynamics, uh, Kubernetes, Kepler orbit visualization, FSA contribution optimization, loan amortization, active learning, Ligon screening, etc. And as you can see, there's quite a few different plugins. They're really straightforward. You click them, and then once you're inside, you choose to run it. We'll move to our paid tier, which is our first paid tier. That is $29.99 a month. And again, we're not going to spend any time in our other areas. We're going to go straight to our plugins. And we are leveling up in terms of what it requires for us to compute these things for us as a company and on our system. Uh, so we do AML transaction thresholds, bioequivalence, Black-Scholes, operations pricer. We're going to choose one of these. And in this case, what we're going to do is scroll down for a few, and we're just going to pick one. Let's do 2D icing module. And yeah, as you can see, we got an untracked value. We do have some presets. Obviously, you can choose your own. You click run, and what it will do is immediately run that functionality And in the second or two it might run, we get a response result, and we get to be able to determine if it was valid or invalid based on the accumulated drift and errors that occur over that state space. And then, of course, we can always view it in 3D. And as you can see, there's a very thin line here that identifies those plot points. And again, we can, if we are unable to visualize it, we can always change our theme so that we can visualize everything to a dark mode. I personally prefer light mode, but again, we can do dark mode so we can see more what's going on. As we go through, we can take a look at the ProTac, dual ProTac ternary audit. And again, all of this is configurable. We can run it, and then again, we determine if it's exact or not. And again, we can run a few others. Noise figure cascade if we have the access, which right now, that one is gated in a different way. But as you can see, we ran tax deadline. And now we're going to move to HPC plugins. Now these are the premier servicing, so there are add-ons and there are module add-ons. GRMHD, LIGO, BSSN are module add-ons, and you would pay for them separately. So you would have to be on a tier, and then you choose to, I'm going to enroll specifically for this particular module add-on. Each of these are available. The module add-ons are available at $19.99 each. That's BSSN, LIGO, GRMHD, and MRW, which is medical research, and you'll be able to utilize them directly. So in the professional series, what we can see here is quite, again, a level up from pro to a higher order of computational uh, higher order of computation as well as research. So here, a lot of what we'll end up finding is input variables that we give to it. And again, we can run these directly and we get, some response results almost immediately. And in this case, for the AML transaction threshold monitor, that's a great thing. However, each one is a little different than the other, so it's not always the same, except that really simply I'll be able to click run and I can run the system immediately. And again, HPC Pro, that comes at a $39 investment per month per seat. Why have I done this? At the end of the day, I'm trying to help the average user, but at the same time, you really can't run this anywhere else, nor do we have any competitor that can run in this space. We are the only ones currently doing advanced computational operation inside of the browser. Um, so, rightly so, we could, as I originally identified, we were going to charge quite a bit more. However, in talking with, theorists and physicists and academia, as well as different businesses, what was determined was, we'd be okay with paying, a couple $1,000s a year or a month or whatever. Um, but in my mindset, I want to be able to provide to to users the access to the research because it may be life altering or life changing. And that being the case, what I would prefer is, yeah, let's do a SaaS binding at a monthly, and it gives us enough money to cover our costs for what we're doing, as well as provide us directed income flow. Um, and of course, I'm going to be working with different government entities in order to create a contractual obligation, which we do have a couple of those going through right now. One with NASA for some of this, and another uh, where we are working with, National Science Foundation, and et cetera. Um, we do and have been working to also start our seed phase with one of or many of the organizations that we're associated to, um, which we do have upcoming meetings for. And as a part of our system, we're going to do um, the Pinfed cohort, which is at the end of this month in several weeks. So again, this is all coming very soon, but I wanted to give you another video to show you some of our plugins and the plugin architecture and how they run and simplify your business use cases or your use case for whatever you might be doing. And right now you can see I'm running the Taylor Vortex Decay model. That's a very straightforward run. We can also do an eigensolver for a 1D. We can say a harmonic and then just click real quickly, just run this for me and it'll tell you if it's valid or not. And again, you can zoom into many of these charts in the plugins so you can see the specific value of any one of these characters or variables or points. And changing those variables changes really very limitedly um, what it's going to do to the service overall, but the operational results certainly will be different. Um, so again, we encourage you to engage with us. We do have a ticketing system, so you can say help and support and submit to us exactly what you would like. That does go to my team, and it can help you to, if you have a new theory or a new product, we will evaluate it and determine if it does need to be a plugin or if it should be a module. We certainly don't want to incur any additional cost unless there is no other alternative. If it's a higher order computation, obviously we may make it a module add-on or normalized add-on. Um, and with either circumstance, we also provide the ability to share. When you do share any of these things, you can decide to share it out, and those shares are now 100% linkable, and the individual can then choose to, subscribe or not, but they will see a static state version of the exact configuration you ran when you shared it. And again, that's to help you send and manage connections between your other users that may or may not have access to the system. That concludes our demonstration for today, and I really do appreciate your time, and I do hope this helps you. Take care, and we'll talk at you later.